Welcome to the Folktale Project. This is Dan Scholz. Today we have another story from the Chinese fairy book, and this one, of all the stories that we've told so far in the many years, there are few that do exactly as it says on the tin, as this story, The Favorite of Fortune and the Child of Ill Luck. Once upon a time there was a proud prince who had a daughter, but the daughter was a child of ill luck. When it came time for her to marry, she had all her suitors assembled before her father's palace. She was going to throw down a ball of red silk among them, and whoever caught it was to be her husband. Now, there were many princes and counts gathered before the castle, and in their midst there was also a beggar. And the princess could see dragons crawling into his ears and crawling out again from his nostrils, for he was a child of luck. So she threw the ball to the beggar, and he caught it. Her father asked angrily, "Why did you throw the ball into the beggar's hands?" "He is a favorite of fortune," said the princess. "I will marry him, and then perhaps I will share in his good luck." But her father would not hear of it, and since she insisted, he drove her from the castle in his rage. So the princess had to go off with the beggar. She dwelt with him in a little hut, and had to hunt for herbs and roots and cook them herself, so that they might have something to eat, and often they both went hungry. One day her husband said to her, "I will set out and seek my fortune, and when I have found it, I will come back again and fetch you." The princess was willing, and he went away, and was gone for 18 years. Meanwhile, the princess lived in want and affliction, for her father remained hard and merciless. If her mother had not secretly given her food and money, no doubt she would have starved to death during all that time. But the beggar found his fortune, and at length became emperor. He returned and stood before his wife. She, however, no longer recognized him. She only knew that he was a powerful emperor. He asked her how she were getting along. "Why do you ask me how I am getting along?" she replied. "I am too far beneath your notice." "And who might your husband be?" "My husband is a beggar. He went away to seek his fortune. That was 18 years ago, and he has not yet returned." "And what have you done during all these long years?" "I have been waiting for him to return." "Do you wish to marry someone else, seeing that he has been missing so long?" "No, I will remain his wife until I die." When the emperor saw how faithful his wife was, he told her who he was, had her clothed in magnificent garments, and took her with him to his imperial palace. And there they lived in splendor and happiness. After a few days, the emperor said to his wife, "We spend every day in festivities as though every day were New Year." "And why should we not celebrate?" answered his wife, "since we have now become emperor and empress." Yet his wife was a child of ill luck. When she had been empress no more than 18 days, she fell sick and died, but her husband lived for many a long year. And that is the story of the favorite of fortune and child of ill luck. And really, like I said at the beginning, it does what it says on the tin, doesn't it? This is Dan Scholz for the Folktale Project. Don't forget that you can subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that you like to get your podcasts. You can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Folktale Project. If you'd like to help support the project, you can head over to patreon.com/folktaleproject. Or you could always just share the stories with someone you love. I do appreciate that. As always, thank you so much for listening.